Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to chat with you about my April favorites. I cannot believe the end of the month is already here, but I'm excited to dive into the best of fashion, beauty, and lifestyle from the past month. I'll have everything linked for you down below as well as pinned to a top comment, and I'd also love to hear what you have been loving this past month as well. So leave a comment letting me know something you are currently loving. It can be literally anything. I'd love to hear from you. All right, let's get started with my top 5 fashion favorites for the month of April. Up first, I wanted to talk about this gorgeous blush sweater from Nordstrom. I believe this has been a bestseller the past couple of months. I shared it originally in February, but it has been perfect for this spring season, that transitional in between weather when you're ready to lighten up your wardrobe for spring, but you still need something a little bit warmer. This has been perfect and I've been reaching for it a ton. I wore it for girls' night. I love to style it with my favorite white jeans. I wear a medium in this brand. I am generally between a small and a medium in most brands. I'm kind of a medium. And in this brand in particular, I usually always go for a medium and it has a really great fit. It has this really cute little bow detail. The strings are quite long. One of you actually mentioned that you snipped them, but I just generally tie like a long drapey bow. I love the little scallop detail here, and the color is just a gorgeous soft blush, but again, it does come in 4 color options. Next fashion favorite, speaking of my favorite white jeans, I definitely had to include them in this month's video because I have been wearing these on repeat. These are from Mother. They're the Hustler jeans. I own this jean in a couple different washes and they are by far my most reached for jeans. I really haven't found anything that compares to them as far as the fit and comfort. I'm actually wearing them right now, which says a lot about that because they are comfortable enough to wear working from home and sitting. They have a good stretch to them. They're comfortable, but they do not stretch out. I feel like I could wear them 10 times in a row and they're still gonna fit exactly the same, which I feel like really speaks to the quality of this denim. I think I'm gonna do a dedicated video styling white jeans. Let me know if you think that would be helpful and if I should add it to my May content calendar. I have been styling these jeans for 2 years and counting. They have been an absolute favorite of mine in my wardrobe. So if you are looking for outfit ideas, I will link to a collection in my LTK where I've saved a bunch of white jean outfits. So you can browse through that for different outfit ideas. Next favorite of mine, I feel like it hasn't been a monthly favorites video this year without some Spanx item making it into my favorites, but I just reach for the Spanx pieces in my wardrobe on repeat. I love Air Essentials. So this top feels like Air Essentials. It's very similar in the softness and the quality, but it is obviously like a stylish top that you can wear out of the house. You can wear Air Essentials out of the house, but you know what I'm saying. But this has been a great spring top. Again, I've styled it with my favorite white jeans. It looks great with shorts. It even looks great with leggings. Like if you want to have an elevated athleisure look, it has this cute little sort of cropped fit, but it's really not super short, at least on my shorter waist. In general, I'm usually a medium at Spanx, but in their tops and Air Essentials, I typically get a small. I do have a Spanx promo code, by the way. It's AMANDAJOHNxSPANX for 10% off your order and free shipping. Next favorite is this Amazon flat, and I have been loving these this month. I actually bought these with the intention of wearing them as my like work from home shoe because we don't wear shoes in our house except for when I'm filming content type of thing. So I bought these with the purpose of them just being my house shoe type of thing. They are so comfortable. They are a great look for less to Rothy's. They have like that same meshy material, although I personally have not tried that brand. You can remove this. I believe you can throw these in the wash and they are very flexible. The heel does not dig in, it's stretchy. I can be an 8.5 or a 9 and I went with an 8.5 in these. They do come in a variety of color options. I went with the beige option. I like the pointed toe detail. It's not too aggressive where it makes your foot feel double the size, and it also has a really cute little bow tie detail, which I love. Next favorite is the scalloped tennis skirt. I am a sucker for anything with a little scalloped detail, and honestly, I'm a sucker for a tennis skirt. I wear tennis skirts nonstop once the weather is nice. I love them for walks. I love them for athleisure outfits. I just feel elevated and put together. I wore this one recently to brunch with a friend. It was casual, but it was at a nicer spot in Atlanta. So I wore it with a navy cashmere sweater. I'll put a little video video of my outfit of the day here, just because I already know I have that filmed. But it's a very comfortable tennis skirt. It's not overly compressive. It's a very soft, smooth waistband, and it's also not super mini. So if you're looking for one with a little more length, this one definitely has some more length than other tennis skirts that I've tried. Those are my top 5 fashion favorites from the month, but I'll also link to the top 5 most shopped fashion items down below if you're curious what basically y'all's favorites were from the month. I'll put those in the description box. All right, moving into my beauty favorites for the month. First, I wanted to talk about my go-to lip liner, and I also wanted to compare them here on camera. So my first beauty favorite is this lip liner. This is from Makeup Forever in the shade Whatever Walnut, and this has been the lip liner that you generally see me wearing in most of my videos here. It's been by far the one that I've been reaching for the most this past month. I feel like it's a very nice natural liner, and it makes my lips look a little poutier as well. So on my hand, I swatched my top 4 most used lip liners. They are all generally in the same color family. They're great nudes, but they definitely lean differently on their undertones. So here's a quick comparison of these shades. So this top line here is Whatever Walnut. This is the one that I've been reaching for the most, and I feel like it's in between these two, which is from Charlotte Tilbury. This next one below Whatever Walnut is the Charlotte Tilbury in Iconic Nude. This one is a great deep nude without being too brown on my fair skin tone. The next lip liner is the Charlotte Tilbury in Pillow Talk. This one is that perfect nudie pink color, but definitely leans more pink. And so I feel like that Whatever Walnut is really a really nice in-between of those two. And then this last swatch here is the Chanel lip liner. I'm blanking on the color of it. I think it's beige, but this one definitely leans a little peachy, but it's not too peach on my fair skin tone. This is the one that I use if I just want a super subtle natural lip line. My next beauty favorite is something that is brand new to me, but I wanted to chat about my nail situation. So in general, I usually do gel polish, but back in February when my friend was getting married, we went to a nail salon in Lexington, which they did a great job, but I was expecting to get gel done, and I ended up with acrylics. You know how it is at the nail salon sometimes. So I ended up with these thick, chunky acrylics, and honestly, it was waking me up when I first got them done because I was just hyper aware of like how thick they were. They were a little tender. They weren't like how they were back in the day when you would get acrylics and they were painful. But I was definitely very aware of like the new addition to my hands that kept me up. Anyway, so I was like, okay, since my nails are already filed and probably damaged from these acrylics, I might as well try S&S and a couple other things. So last month I tried S&S with gel polish on top, and it was definitely better than acrylics in a sense that it wasn't as thick, but the gel polish did chip off those fairly quickly. So this last week, I tried the Gel X. So it's basically a gel nail extension that they cure on your nail with gel, and then they paint over it with gel. And so far, so good. I've been a big fan. I also tried a new shape as well. These are a little bit longer than I generally go, but I was just wanting to give it a try since they were a nail extension, and I think it just looks good with the ombre to have a little bit more length. So far I've been loving it. I will keep you updated on how long it lasts, but I think that they're gonna last fairly well because these extensions are actually that tip color, so she didn't even have to paint it. So I don't have to worry about the tips chipping, which is really nice. So I will keep y'all updated on how long it lasts, but so far I've been a big fan, so maybe check out if your salon offers Gel X and give it a try. Next beauty favorite, I know I've mentioned this one on my channel before, but I have been especially loving it this past month again, and it is the Kiehl's body lotion. I usually pick this up every year in the Nordstrom sale. They generally do a huge, like, big tub of it for a value size, so I will be picking it up in a couple months once it goes on sale for that. But I did replenish both mine and Tim's lotion over the holidays for our stockings. Both Tim and I use this body lotion, so if you're looking for a really great moisturizing body lotion, this is the one that we both love. Next beauty favorite, I mentioned this in my Sephora favorites as well, but I'm very happy to have it back now that I've repurchased it, and it is the Amika the Cure hair mask. And I think this is a really nice hair mask for probably most hair types. I would say if you have very, very fine, thin hair, it may be a little heavy for your hair. I do have fine textured hair, but I do have a little bit more of it. I wouldn't say my hair is excessively thin or anything. So I have no issues using this product, and I have been using it for the past year and really love it. I think it has completely changed the health of my hair. In general, I've been doing a lot more of a healthy hair routine, so I will link to a blog post where I go into more detail of that if you are curious. I've been on a little bit of a hair journey over the past year trying to get it as healthy as possible, and I'm really happy with how it's grown out and the thickness at the ends. So yeah, I repurchased this hair mask at the beginning of the month, and I am very happy to have it back in my hair routine. Next beauty favorite is the IT Cosmetics CC Cream. Now this is not a new to me product at all. I think I actually featured this in one of my very first YouTube videos before I even officially started my channel. It's just like a random beauty routine. I don't even know if it's up on my channel still, but I have definitely been a fan of this product for a really long time, but I just try new things and kind of forget about it. But recently I revisited it in my routine this month, and it just has a really great coverage. I love that it has multiple benefits. It's kind of skincare, SPF, and foundation in one. It is what I'm currently wearing on my face today, and I'll probably continue wearing throughout the summer months. I feel like that's when I really reach for this product the most, is during summer, because I like that additional SPF benefit that it has. I do actually have a beauty favorite to share with y'all. I wanted to give you an update on the red light mask that I purchased in the Sephora sale. So sadly, long story short, I've already returned the mask, and I'm very bummed about it. I don't think that it's an issue that everyone has, or else the product would have horrible reviews and would not be as popular as it is. So I do think it was just the device that I ended up with. But after using it for about 3 days, it stopped staying on. So originally I thought the battery was dead. So I charged it overnight, and I still had that issue. It would only stay on for about 15 seconds, and it's supposed to stay on for 3 minutes. So that was definitely a bummer, but let me pull up. I have a note because I've actually wanted to do a video eventually on the red light therapy. So I wrote some pros and cons. I will just put these on the screen so you can pause it if you want to read my thoughts on it, if you're interested in this mask. Overall, I was happy with it for those 3 days, but obviously if it's not going to stay on for the treatment length, then I had to return it. I've been doing a lot of research on red light therapy, and I am determined to give it a try and see what benefits that it potentially has on my skin type. I'm fairly confident in the research that I've seen, so I did order another one to try. It's just going to take a little bit to get here because it's back ordered or super popular right now, but I ordered the Omnilux Men's just based on my research. That seems like the best one to get right now. I just went for the Dr. Dennis one because I got it on sale during Sephora sale, and I had a big gift card to use, so it just made sense to go that route. But I'm very curious if any of y'all have given red light therapy a try. Definitely let me know your feedback in the comments. But I will keep you updated because I plan to do a video with my before and afters once I get a new mask in and I can finally give it a try for at least 10 weeks. All right, switching into my lifestyle favorites. This one's definitely going to be a little chatty because I just have a lot to discuss. I've read some books and we have to talk about the Taylor Swift album basically. So first lifestyle favorite, I wanted to mention this one is a splurge, but you can often find it on sale. I wanted to mention my espresso machine. I don't think I've talked about it here on my YouTube channel, but this is something that I use daily. I got it back during the Black Friday sales and I've been so happy with it. It's definitely elevated my morning coffee ritual. Full transparency, I actually drink decaf most days, but on days where I know I have to be super productive or like on the weekends, I do like to have a latte, and I almost feel like I'm on Adderall or something. I'm very productive when I have regular coffee, but it's just too much for me to do on a day-to-day basis. It increases my stress levels. So yeah, I drink decaf, but I love this espresso machine. I do make lattes with it. I've been trying to perfect latte art, which has been a fun new little hobby as well, and it definitely elevates my little morning routine. Next favorite, I actually finished 2 books this month. So I did start the ACOTAR, I think is how people say it, series. So A Court of Thorns and Roses. And then I did also finish A Court of Mist and Fury as well. So here are my sort of quick general thoughts. When I shared that I was starting ACOTAR, a lot of y'all warned me that the first book is actually kind of slow and boring, but you have to kind of get the plot there to really enjoy the second book. And the second book was so much better, and I have to agree with that. I just feel like in general, the first book, although I did enjoy reading it, I read it fairly quickly. There just wasn't a lot going on. There wasn't a lot of character development until the very end of the book, and then you're like, wow, like things are actually happening now. So yeah, I definitely wasn't the biggest fan of the first book, but it was easy to read and get through type of thing. The second book, however, was significantly better, and there was just so much more going on and so much more characters to kind of learn about. And although sometimes I feel like I really have no idea what's going on because it is very fantasy, and there's like these fairies and you have to kind of play with your imagination there. So sometimes I'm honestly just like, I don't know what's going on, but I'm still here for it. So I did start the third book in the series. I'm just started it last night, so I'm not very far along, but I do like how we're seeing 2 different perspectives at least. I feel like it's a little bit more interesting in that way. I honestly wasn't planning to jump right into the third book, but the ending just sucked me in basically with how they left things, and I was like, okay, I have to see what happens. So my general thoughts on the series, I don't think I'm as obsessed with it as some people on social media. I do appreciate kind of knowing the memes and what people are talking about with it, and I did like it, but I wouldn't say it's the best book of all time in my personal opinion. There's some things where I'm just like, I don't know how I feel about that that happened in the book, or I'm just like, okay, that's a stretch, but this is a fantasy book type of thing. So I know some of y'all are huge fans and you think it's the best book of all time, but for me, I feel like it was something to do. It was an enjoyable read, but I'm not obsessed like I thought I was potentially going to be based on the hype of social media. But what I am obsessed with, and what we do have to talk about next, is the new Taylor Swift album, The Tortured Poets Department. And it is definitely a little early to include it in my favorites video for this month because how many days has it been? It's only been out for 4 days since I'm filming this video, but I have been listening to it nonstop and I would love to hear your thoughts on it. So as an OG Swiftie, I feel like I would have been disappointed in this album if my expectations weren't going to be met. Like I fully expected this album to be very lyrical and sort of sad and about heartbreak. That's just the vibe I was getting based on the title of it and the tracks that she released. So I knew going in kind of what to expect, and I have to say it met my expectations there. But as an OG Swiftie, I love 1989. I love her like catchy feel-good songs from 1989 and things like that. So I think if you were expecting or hoping for those vibes, you're probably going to be a little disappointed in this album. Or if you are not a big Folklore and Evermore girly, which I was not. I did not like those albums until last year, if I'm being honest, with the Eras tour. That's when I finally gave those songs a little bit more chance, and now I do really like some of those songs. But in general, I like the poppy fun Taylor Swift a little bit more. Personal opinion. But with that said, I do think that this is probably my top 3 favorite albums of hers. I don't think anything will compare to 1989 and Reputation for me, but I do think this album is like up there, like potentially the 3rd spot, which says a lot. Because usually I feel like it takes a little bit of time to grow to love an album, and I have been listening to this one nonstop. It's all I want to listen to. I think it's very catchy and beautiful, and the lyrics behind them, she's obviously a lyrical genius, but I've just been really enjoying this album, and I cannot pick favorites. Like there would be so many favorites. So I will put here kind of my top picks. I do think I need to spend a little bit more time on the end of the album. Honestly, I've only listened to the end of the album maybe once, because I generally start at the beginning on my walks, and I just don't make it to the end. So I do need to spend a little bit more time on the second half of the double album. But so far, these are my favorites. Although I will also say the album did seem a little repetitive, like the music, not so much the lyrics, but they just sound similar with the production of things. So I would like her to mix it up in the next album. Have some more catchiness to it, a little less like of the weird techie noises, because it just seemed to kind of blend together a little bit for me. I would say my least favorite song was Florida. Like that has been a skip for me. Don't come for me, because I know some of y'all do like that song, but that one just hasn't done it for me yet. Maybe it will grow on me, but that's probably my least favorite song of the album. The biggest surprise of this album was definitely how many songs were about Matt Healy, because I didn't even know who he was, honestly, before they started like being seen together earlier last year. So it just seemed like a very short-lived situationship, but honestly there is a lot more to that relationship than I was aware of. So I just wasn't expecting him to be all over this album. That was definitely the biggest surprise for me. And I mean, I could not imagine having The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived written about me. That is definitely some deep stuff there. So it's so fun then to try to figure out who the songs are about. Sometimes she is just so blatantly obvious with them, which I love. But as I'm listening to the album, the first time I heard But Daddy I Love Him, I assumed it was about Matty Healy, but now I actually think it might be about Travis. I don't know if anyone else has that take on it, but I think because of the way it ends, it makes me think that it's about Travis, and it almost has this love story theme to it, where it's like in the beginning they couldn't be together, but then they end up together and happy in the end. So that's what kind of makes me think it could be about Travis, but I haven't really heard a lot of people saying that. So listen to it again and let me know if you think it's about Maddie or Travis. All right, I have probably rambled on enough in this video, but if you are still here watching, just wanted to say thank you for being here and supporting my channel. Leave a little strawberry in your comment if you are still here, or if you don't know how to do an emoji, you can just write out the word strawberry to let me know that you made it to the end of this video. But thank you all for watching. I feel like there's a lot to chat about in the comments with y'all in this video, so I'm excited to hear your thoughts on all of the things. But thank you for watching, and I will see you next week with some new fashion videos. Bye!